spend 1 TP, put the Achilles in.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to T5S2 Invitational. We have a very exciting weekend of 40k ready to go, but we're kicking it off here with this Invitational game. I think a pretty exciting matchup for sure. We have two Singaporeans fighting it out here in Group 1. AshC, current, aka Rentar, current T5S2 frontrunner, first seed into the group stage, playing her Adepta Sororitas versus the brand new Adeptus Custodes from MooMooCow over here in the red, which who I'm excited to see on the table again. We saw some very cool plays from MooMooCow just on Wednesday in his game against Kogo. And I'm excited to see what he can pull out here against the Adeptus Sororitas. Players are just getting started.
Not touching terrain, of course.
We might have a couple delays in here, chat. Unfortunately, MooMooCow does have to
Okay, yeah, like so.
has some personal things to take care of that are interrupting him so far in this game, and we may experience some delays because of that. But
we stand ready.
He's going. Oh, yeah, let's do a prediction. Prediction for all of the Twitch folks. There we go.
I think that means Retributors can't advance and see him. You have no way of increasing your advantage.
Ta-da! As the players go through their deployment phase.
Do you? Okay. I'm trying to get across slightly, but yeah, keep going.
You can't turn one touch me, right?
All right. Well, let's go ahead and talk through the players' lists as they're
Yeah, and if I put them here, go for
doing their deployment.
try and get in there. But
We are on Scorched Earth today, so 6 objectives, 2 in each deployment zone, 2 in the center of the table along the midline. It is a
just relying on it.
standard take and hold mission, so score 5 points for holding 1 objective, 10 for holding 2, 15 if you have more on top of all that. It does famously have what is probably the worst secondary objective in all of Warhammer 40k, the Raise secondary. Requires you to take a full round action on your opponent's objectives, which then removes those objectives, fortunately after you've scored them on the subsequent turn, and can potentially score you points if you have raised both of your opponent's objectives. But that's tough. It's a little tough. Neither player, shockingly, taking that secondary objective, but it is an interesting mission. We often see some very kind of mobile, dynamic games on Scorched Earth where players rotate around each other, around this kind of circular pattern that the objectives create. And it'll be interesting to see if we see that kind of style of game here.
Standing on that objective.
So exclamation point lists in the chat, everybody, if you want to follow along with the lists. We can talk about Ash's Adepta Sororitas. This is a style of list that she took to victory in the T5S2 Season 3 Invitational. And she has been playing almost unchanged since then. So the last 6 months or so, she's been playing this list or versions thereof and doing extremely well with it, as evidenced by the fact that she is first seed going into the Season 4 Invitational. So certainly a favorite to win the event, and this list likely one that we see in the elimination stage, but we'll see if MooMooCow can sort of foil that.
Did you custom make them? Or?
This is a patrol detachment coming out of a Valorous Heart
Yeah, I see.
conviction
Pick the model up.
that only affects a couple of the models in the detachment, most notably the Celestian Sacrosaunts. In the patrol, that's bringing a Canoness with Word of the Emperor for the fight last, and Invuln Save ignoring. Morven Val, as well as 1 Battle Sister squad and that Sacrosaunt squad to provide some bodyguard. We also have a Preacher, 2 individual mortifiers upgraded to Anchorites for that 3+ armor save with their heavy bolters. That's followed up by a Spearhead detachment. This is where things get pretty wild. We have Celestine and the Gemini Superior. This is Argent Shroud, by the way, which will affect a couple of the units in the detachment. Ephriel Stern and Kaiganel, a unit of Crusaders for some backline objective holding. An additional Mortifier, so a total of 3 individual Mortifiers, plus if you're including those Crusaders as well. There's a lot of sort of MSU units in this style of Adeptus Sororitas, which lets Ash really utilize those units to screen effectively, to put redundancy on objectives, so it's difficult to remove objectives from her control because she has a lot of individual small units that you have to target separately. Really just making good use of those, that MSU style of list. And interestingly, the Anchorites also, despite the fact that they're only 5-wound vehicles, do provide lookouts to her characters, so if the Sacrosancts are not around, a single Anchorite standing behind some characters will actually make them largely untargetable. That's followed up by the mainstay of the list, 3 units of 4 Penitent Engines, the mix of Buzzblades and Penitent Flails, all of them with their heavy flamers. Just an immense breadth of ablative wounds on top of some very powerful shooting and melee damage output. Especially with those Penitent Flails giving them extra attacks and being pretty effective 1 damage weapons, especially with the reroll to hit from Zealot. Good against the current metagame of damage reduction. That's followed up by 2 Retributor squads in that detachment. This is the Argent Shroud detachment, so they are going to have the ability to advance and still remain counted as stationary. Each of those bringing 3 Multi-Meltas, 2 Armorium Cherubs, and 1 Simulacrum to give them their additional Miracle Dice. That's just for them. Special Miracle Dice. But that gives the list a little bit of ability to deal with heavy targets at long range, because oftentimes the only other way that the list is going to be killing armored vehicles and monsters and things like that is going to be in melee. So oftentimes the ability to represent an Alpha Strike from those Retributors keeps big heavy stuff from being able to deploy aggressively and engage into the Penitent Engines. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. The Telemon's already... despite the fact that the rest of the list is relatively light on ranged attacks, besides Morphin Vol and those Anchorites, it's a lot of 2 damage shooting, but obviously a Telemon Dreadnought shouldn't be worried about that. But he is going to have to deploy behind this line of sight blocker, which is going to hamper his movement. Basically, we'll have to move all the way around the line of sight blocker early in order to participate in the game. Because if he doesn't, there's a non-zero chance those Retributors just vaporize that guy, which would be very sad for MooMooCow. Moving over, we talk about MooMooCow's list real quick here. New Adeptus Custodes. So I'll throw the normal caveat out there, chat. I'm not 100% up on new Adeptus Custodes stuff yet, but I'm going to do my best to talk about them to the best of my ability. We did see some very cool technology coming out of MooMooCow in his previous game against Kogo. That was an Overrun, a mission that's traditionally very tough for Adeptus Custodes. MooMooCow did make it a very close game, just utilizing his mobility and unique access to secondary objectives to keep the score extremely tight. And we'll see if he's going to be able to do that again. This is a single battalion detachment coming out of the Emperor's Chosen Shield Host. That, importantly, gives them the ability to swap out their Shield Host ability for another one for 1 CP, but also gives them their Master Artisan's style reroll. That is a Shield Captain in Alaris Terminator armor with the Praetorian Plate, which allows him to teleport to someone else, to within 3 inches of another unit, so someone else's position, essentially. He can teleport into melee at the end of your opponent's charge phase. So unlike most teleport placements, most set up on the battlefield effects, the Praetorian Plate is not worried about engaging enemies, and that will allow the Shield Captain to then fight if he remains in melee throughout the fight phase until it comes to his turn to fight. And does not count as a heroic intervention, so he is untargetable by enemy attacks that turn, unless they declared him as a charge target, which is unlikely. He's being upgraded to have an unstoppable destroyer, so he can consolidate in any direction. And he has the Impregnable Mind Warlord trait, which doubles his model count for holding objectives. So being a Custodes infantry, he normally counts as 2. He'll then count as 4 objectives. 4 models on an objective, with objective secured because he is a Custodes infantry. And he gets an additional wound from that, I believe. Oh, excuse me, Deny the Witch. He gets his defensive buff from his Praetorian plate. Moving on, we have a Shield Captain of Dawn Eagle Jet Bike. This guy with Superior Creation for the damage reduction. Radiant Mantle for -1 to be hit, and the Auric Aquilus. That is the Relic Jet Bike, which interestingly allows him to, at the cost of shooting and declaring charges, double his movement characteristic for a movement phase, which means that, as we've seen Jay do in the past, he can move his 28 inches and perform actions. Importantly, actions like deploy teleport homers, which is not only not restricted to non-character, but also is allowed to be performed by bikers. And a casual 28-inch move into an action is pretty strong play. This is just generally pretty good. We also have Trajan Valoris in there. Give MooMooCow some control over the Martial Katas, as well as some additional CP and CP regen. We have 2 units of Sagittarium Custodians, although they are currently, unfortunately, not affected by Martial Katas, and 1 unit of Prosecutors. 1 Contemptor Achilles Dreadnought in the Elite slot, as well as a Vexillus Praetor to Vexilla Defensor, which gives everybody light cover. Helps protect the Virtus Praetors a little bit, but that's about it. We've mostly seen Jay use him to hold some backline objectives. He's a little bit tough to kill, especially with that light cover aura. If one random thing gets back in the backline there with a 1+ armor save, he's going to be probably pretty safe. Looks like MooMooCow has had to step away again, so we're on a little bit of a hiatus here for a moment, chat, but that's okay. We can hang out. Following that up, to round out the list, 2 units of Virtus Praetors with their salvo launchers. This is kind of the backbone of the list. And we are playing, I know there's probably going to be some questions on it, we are playing Codex point values, because the event started before the release of the updated Custodes points values. So these actually, these guys will be a little bit less expensive in the next version of the list, which is pretty nice. The salvo launchers certainly are going to help in this matchup. Give them that access to that powerful D3+3 damage gunshot that they can use to pop penitent engines, which I think will be pretty useful. And then, last, but certainly not least, we have a Telemon Heavy Dreadnought. That guy with his Arachnid Storm Cannon, able to fire his big 3 damage shots or a bunch of 1 damage shots. Not the most effective thing against the penitent engines, but it certainly will help. He does have 1 melee weapon with the inbuilt plasma projectors as well. $54K in for AshC, chat. Oh man, everybody just pulling for Ash today. It does make sense. She is the I mean, being the front runner, she's certainly the favorite, I think, in the event. Oh, YouTube chat. The bot isn't showing the right lists. I apologize, chat. See if I can fix that. It should be... YouTube bot might be broken. Oh, no. I can post you all the list. Here you go. Here's the list if you want to take a look at it. That's what the bot should be posting, but it's not for some reason.
Okay, sorry, back.
And MooMooCow has returned.
Okay, did you roll? Oh, you haven't rolled too. If I go first. Okay.
We can't roll yet. You need to pick a shrine.
Oh, I picked one, right. Number 1.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
Alright.
Yep. So roll, I guess.
All right, the big roll.
5.
Sororitas to the 5,
Yeah,
Custodes to the 4. Sororitas
Good
going
luck.
first.
Have fun.
Luck.
I kind of have to imagine that both these players, because this matchup is so
Custodes don't activate yet, right?
range agnostic, I guess.
That's-
I kind of have to imagine both these players would.
Okay, so
It's technically supposed to be secret, but it's not very.
Prefer going
This,
second.
Rendax and Dakatari. But I choose. So it's left to right, but I choose which one's active.
Going first for Ash certainly allows her to put a ton of pressure down the table by just running waves of penitent engines in the center. But that also ostensibly puts her in range to be counter-attacked by these Virtus Praetors, which have a very long threat range with their base 14-inch move and that super strong salvo launcher attack.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get a prayer of +1 attack. It goes off on Celestine.
And we should probably have the
Itself.
clock on pause here.
Okay. And move to.
So, like I was mentioning before, because Adeptus Custodes, as we saw in MooMooCow's previous game, unlock some interesting secondary objective picks, and we're kind of seeing that made manifest here in his picks of behind enemy lines, bring it down, and deploy teleport homers. Bring it down is a pretty much a no-brainer against AshC's list, because she does have 16 individual vehicle models. All of which are only 5 wounds, although they do have a 5+ damage ignore, so they're a little tougher to kill than they look. But they are composed both the core and the front line of Ash's list, which means they're going to be in harm's way pretty much the entirety of the game. So it's unlikely that they're going to be able to play cagey. I think Ash just assumes that she's going to give up a bunch of points on Bring It Down basically every game, and then hopes for the best from there. Ooh, looks like we can get a cheeky shot on one Virtus Praetor. Look at that line of sight by rolling a 6 on her advance roll. Easy peasy. So we've taken the +1 advance and charge. Sacred Rite for Ash. And she's sneaked this line of sight onto the Virtus Praetor. Could potentially see a transhuman here to make those guys a little bit tougher. And hope that those multi-melts don't do too much damage. But I think Ash is happy with basically any attack she can get off on this turn. And you're not really going to get much better of a target in this matchup than those Virtus Praetors. Maybe you want to shoot at the Telemon, because although the math I think ends up being the same, the Telemon's slower than the Praetors. So it's, yeah, she's probably very happy she can shoot at them. Secondary objectives on Ash's side of the table. She has Raise the Banners High, a very common one in Scorched Earth, because you'll often see both armies be able to compete in these center objectives, and they'll often be able to push through one of them and be able to raise a banner there. So while there's only 2 objectives in each deployment zone, oftentimes you see players be raising banners on the front, the center table objectives. And that will often score probably 11 to 12 points, I think, over the course of the game is the average, which is a perfectly reasonable secondary objective. And then she's also taken Defend the Shrine, which will give her points as long as she controls the objective designated as the Shrine, which is objective 1 here. However, she will be penalized if her opponent holds it at the end of the game.
How to get there now? She will just move up to here. Right.
Chad, I did count Morvenn Vahl when I talked about vehicles. There's 15 redemption engines plus Morvenn Vahl. Get out of here. I know what I'm talking about.
11 to chat. Squad 1 will advance.
So interestingly, we do see kind of a balanced distribution of models on Ash's side of the table, with Celestine and a unit of penguins on one side, a bunch of penitent engines with Morvenval on the other side. One in the middle to go anywhere we want, which is pretty helpful. And that meant because Ash does not know where the shrine is when she deploys, because her opponent will pick that after deployment. She has to deploy relatively evenly on both sides, so she can push to whichever side has the shrine on it. But what that does mean is, and one thing that we've seen Ash use the secondary objective to do a lot is reorient her opponent's focus onto the shrine objective to sort of incentivize them to make it difficult for her to score. Then that allows her to push the other side of the table with relative impunity. And that's basically what we're seeing here. You'd think that this Penitent Engine unit would see the shrine on Objective 1 and turn around and run towards it. But instead, Ash is elected to move it the other direction. And that's because she knows her opponent is going to pick the side where they have the most units. So all she needs to do is push down this side and hold these 4 objectives. She can trade units onto the shrine one at a time in order to keep that objective alive. But then that's going to give her a dominating control of primary objectives. And that's oftentimes a play pattern that we see on Scorched Earth, where each player forces down one side of the table, and they kind of do this base trade.
Battle Sisters, Celestine, and Retributors are dropping banners.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the mid-board banner.
So that's banners on one, that one,
No,
and this one.
these-
Oh, this one, these 3. Okay.
They advanced. I can't.
Right. Yeah. Got it.
Shooting.
Yeah, you also want to shoot those
everything in your
Retributors.
Okay.
Yep.
That was silly, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
She put rerolls on herself, right?
Yep.
To 1 CP, turn off the rerolls.
Okay. So sliders there. So the heavy bolter. 1 save.
Made it.
And the rockets. 1 save.
So cheeky line of sight from Morven
Alright, Retributors
into the
going to
Telemon.
shoot everything at the Kratos.
Transhuman. For
Okay.
another CP.
Yeah, Emperor's
Hang on, just
Auspice.
I'll roll 2 dice.
Keep
see
the
whether-
Telemon alive. We'll see if our
Nope.
Arcane Genetic Alchemy can keep the Bikers alive against the Retributors. We do have 2 Armorium Cherubs in the bank here.
On 3s, re-rolling 1s.
So this is the equivalent of 5
The
multi-melta
reroll
shooting.
for Argent Shroud, and on 4s, re-rolling 1s. 3 saves.
Takes 1. What's the damage?
2.
2.
Pop both cherubs. Do that
Yep.
again.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 Praetor only taking a little tickling.
I'll CP one of those. Into a 3.
Okay.
Kills.
Oof. And then that
One more.
Transhuman staying strong.
Oh, no, I will CP that.
And we're going to CP to try to keep that Praetor alive. And he does!
Saved.
So a lot of CP spent on
And I'll see if I
MooMooCow's side of the
can see
table,
back
but
to
able
that.
to blank all of Ash's shooting so far.
I don't. So,
And that's my turn. So,
okay, cool.
banners, super shrine, and
But now, the important part here for Ash, I think, more than getting actual kills on those Praetors, is going to be forcing the Custodes to commit into the center, which will bring them into the line of fire of the Penitent Engines on Objective 2 and Morvenval, and all the heavy bolters that she has hiding in the back there. We may be able to clear those Retributors just with the anti-infantry shooting that MooMooCow has on the table. Although he will have to move up something aggressively onto Objective 1 if he wants to be able to prevent the 15-point primary turn from Ash. Although maybe he accepts that the max primary is just a foregone conclusion. No, looks like we're gonna send those Sagittarum in with a big 6 on an advance roll. 2 super fast armies here, apparently. Adeptus Sororitas and Adeptus Custodes. I don't know if you knew this, chat. The most agile armies in the game. Because they just keep rolling 6s to advance. Easy. Easy peasy. The Sagittarum, not as affected by advancing and shooting their weapons as you would expect, because they can impose an additional -1 to hit on themselves to double tap both their guns. Which means being -2, oftentimes the 2 will essentially cancel out, and they'll just suffer -1 anyway and get an additional shot, which mathematically should be about the same. Now, what I do like is Ash's decision to...
Do I need it? No, I don't actually. So
keep the Penitent Engines back here. That does keep them safe from any shooting that we might see. But on top of that, it also means that if Jay decides to push forward, especially with his shield captain, and try to get that deploy teleport homers by doubling his movement with his bike, then the Penitent Engines are right there to turn around and just beat that guy to death. Whereas normally, I think you would, with no reserves besides just the Contemptor, you would be kind of incentivized to push forward and try to lock down that shrine. That would allow your opponent to get her in behind you with that big 28-inch movement. But Ash is not letting that get past her.
he's going. Yeah.
So it looks like we're not going to see a deploy teleport homers this turn.
Oops. No. Tell you what, I will do this.
Yeah, the
Sagittarum
Sagittarum Custodians rolled a 6 for their advance and their base move 6.
Yep,
so they moved to 10 inches.
Plus another 6, so that's 12 minus 2, 10.
That's
Oh right. Bikes don't roll. Yes.
Bikes don't roll. No.
I forget.
He is gonna go his full.
That's why that 6 to advance was such a big deal.
Double his movement so he can't shoot. He's going there. Sagittarum moving and advancing as well on from there. Not as much, 3, so goes down to 7. Three up there, 3.1, and then another.
A question about the dice rollers. The dice rollers are fairly agnostic. Sometimes just to save effort, players will roll the dice that have been rolled in one dice roller or another. Especially if you're using large amounts of dice. You can tell who's rolling the dice by the color of the hand that's rolling them. Typically, they'll use your own dice roller, but sometimes they move to the other one. And the dice rollers are identical, so the
bike's going.
You know, there's no mathematical difference between the two. At least I would hope so. Oh boy. That's a if there is, that would be that's a immediate grounds for termination.
Yeah, no. Okay. Fairy Captain, the Praetorian Plate Captain's moving up. No. He's going up there. The Vexillus Praetor is going to move in advance. 1, he's going to go 7.
So one thing I'm a little bit worried about on Jay's side of the table is that he's not getting too many ranged attacks into the Penitent Engines. And we talked about a little bit how powerful those salvo launchers are into the Penitent Engines, especially with, you know, how reliable Custodes shooting is. And
perfect. Would you agree here that Val, if I clear the Retributors, Val is the closest visible model?
For some of them?
I can see your sisters on that.
No, but Lookout Sir doesn't care about
Doesn't it?
No. Wait, she was 2? I measured 2. Sorry. She just that.
Because I could have sworn that it's
Oh. It's,
both visible to the firing model, and it is the closest enemy unit to the firing model that can be targeted normally, right?
Yeah, the look
So
outsar
if I
requires
clear-
that you are visible, not that the other things that are closer are visible.
I see.
Yeah. Like, it's an additional targeting restriction for indirect fire weapons, but that's about it.
Okay, okay. Fair.
So you could probably get this squad, but not the other squad.
Alright. Fair enough, okay. So.
Good old lookouts are
Probably put him
rules.
slightly here, if you don't mind.
To be fair, it is difficult to keep track of which version of lookouts we're using at any one time because they have been updated so many times by Games Workshop.
So
Oh boy. Lorenius, no matter how I roll my dice to keep rolling ones, I'm sorry. It sounds like
okay.
there is no difference between the two then. There you go. So there you go.
So who is closer here?
15.9, 15.9. Yeah, so this squad.
Tell you
can
what,
shoot.
that's what. Yeah.
This
Green squad.
can-
I'll start with the easier.
There's no way in hell the teal squad is closer.
Yeah. Okay. So green squad.
So we're
or red squad.
electing to try to take out Morvenn Vahl
9 shots.
with the Virtus Praetors, which definitely makes sense because we super duper want to kill that lady.
And,
Not only does she provide rerolls to potential units like Retributors, but also she's just has a good profile at shooting at Custodes stuff. A bunch of AP2 D6 damage missile launchers,
Okay.
which you don't want to be eating all game.
And then the remaining 6 are hitting on 2s.
But one thing that Ash likes to do is present Morvenn Vahl as a juicy morsel of a target, especially if she's not particularly important in a specific matchup. And while she's certainly useful, I don't know if she's the make or break in this matchup. And that forces her opponent to overextend, which we are seeing, I think, a little bit here for MooMooCow. He's keeping very cagey, and I think he's in a pretty good defensive position with the Virtus Praetors, but
So now.
I'm sure that he would rather be shooting them at Penitent Engines. But that also will allow Ash to generate a bunch of Miracle Dice when a character goes down for Morvenn Vahl dying.
So that's 11.9. That's 11.8. So it's the front 2, I think, or the purple squad.
Purple squad.
Purple squad. Okay. So purple squad putting everything into Val.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go.
3 shots, hitting on 2s, rerolling that one.
Oh, not what we want to see. Rerolls a 1 into a 1. So one
what's the
shot
toughness? 7.
Misses.
3 Rerolling that one for Trajan. Okay, 2 wounds.
We
on
get
your
2
forearm.
wounds through, but I think we're going to have to see 2 fails here because Morvenn Vahl does half damage, and yeah, only 1 goes through. 4.
Damage.
Just 2.
2. Do I want to CP that? You have the damage, is it? Rounding up.
Yep. Yep.
So it's currently 4 down to 2. Rounding up. I'll try and CP that. See what happens. Okay, 5, so round it up to 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I'll see if I get the CP back for Trajan. Nope. Is Trajan the closest model? Looks like it. He's going to put 2 shots, in, 1 shot into Val.
Sure.
It's
Go get her, Trajan.
doesn't
That's
wound.
not-
Empress chosen that. Nope, still not. Vexilla should be.
Probably
think-
not. Because this is a straight. This is.
Yeah,
This
yep.
is fine.
Okay, Telemon.
It's
Telemon can fire anything.
definitely not closest to time.
That's interesting that Trajan gets shield host keywords.
So,
I do like that. I wish some more special characters would have that.
That is over to you.
Okay. Fizz. I'll slash that on myself. Let's go.
All right, well, we got rid of the Retributor unit, successfully cleared off AshC's defend the shrine targets, although no behind enemy lines, no deploy teleport homers scored so far. Also, I'm not sure we moved this Telemon Dreadnought chat, so he might be getting shot again. Although I'm sure, I think actually MooMooCow would probably be fine with Morven turning around and shooting at the Telemon again and not this massive Virtus Praetors. Going down his her throat there. And here comes Celestine. So one thing I think I would have liked to have seen maybe is the prosecutors move to the back of the objective to keep that objective secured alive on it for as long as possible, and force Celestine to maybe miracle a charge into them and declare the Telemon. But we'll see. Ash is certainly going to try to use Celestine to knock the objective down here off balance for as long as possible. And unfortunately, despite the fact that we do have all these Virtus Praetors, they are pretty hard committed to the left-hand side of the table, and outside of Praetorian Plate guy, which I guess we probably see a reposition on, to be fair, there isn't much that can shuffle over to Objective 5. So I think we could see a teleport, although I'm not sure that guy particularly wants to fight Celestine, but at least he will hold down that objective for a little bit, at least. Does Swarmlord get Crusher Stampede buffs? Yeah. He also has a bracketed High Fleet keyword. All of the Tyranid characters get High Fleet traits, which is sick.
Okay. Let's see. Penta Engine scored 3 all at once. So that is 15.
So Penitent's shuffling over. Another big advance roll from Ash. This is the game of ludicrous advance rolls so far. Big fight, let's go! Yeah. So chat, I think, given how tanky Morvenval is, I think the likelihood that MooMooCow kills her in one shot with just 3 Praetor rockets is pretty low. But I'm almost wondering if there's a universe, although he does have to worry about the second Retributor squad hiding in the back here, where he just keeps the Praetors in this area. They still can threaten out to the left-hand side of the table, and even potentially the right over here on Objective 4. With their long movement. But I almost wonder if there's maybe a universe where he just takes those shots into the Penitent engines. He probably kills 2 to 3 and really mitigates the power of this unit coming back in to fight over Objective 1. Yeah, now we're going to get rerolls turned off and things are about to get... Or invulnerable saves turned off, excuse me, and things are about to get a little awkward. We'll see if, yeah, I think the other question of this turn is whether or not the Praetorian Plate guy teleports to Objective 4 to fight Celestine on it. Celestine is probably going to kill that dude, but he does count as a bunch of objective secured models for holding the objective. And that's especially alongside a Telemon Dreadnought. That's kind of hard to chew through. Not to mention the fact that she can't attack him the turn he goes in. So if he just plants himself in melee with her, things could get pretty dicey for Celestine. It is important that the Praetorian Plate guy cannot teleport, or cannot base his teleport off of the Dreadnought itself, because the Praetorian played exclusive vehicle units, but it's not Adeptus Custodes keyworded, so it can teleport up to the Prosecutor squad, which is probably what we see happening. As long as it doesn't die in shooting, which I think is unlikely, then looks pretty good. And with how far spaced out the Gemini are, a very aggressive teleport could potentially lock one or two of them up from fighting, which means that it would be Celestine alone clearing that unit, which he can probably do, but still makes things a little bit more awkward.
Let me move you guys less.
So the March of the Penguins descends upon these Virtus Praetors. They've like poked the Hornet's nest. They killed the Retributor squad, and all the other little bees in the colony got angry and started coming out of the woodwork, toting their flamers.
Yeah. Okay. Start of the shooting phase. That's a super smite onto your bike cap.
Oh no!
Oh.
6 mortal wounds.
I am waiting. 6 mortal wounds.
So that's Kaiganil's pseudo smite into the shield captain, plows him for 6.
Oh wow. Okay, 6. Okay, 6 Unobtains. It's not a. I'm assuming it's not a psychic power and can't be
No, it's
denied,
not.
right?
No, it's not.
So 4 ups. Take 3.
Yep. And you actually average.
Well, that wasn't too bad.
Okay. 2 CP.
Mm-hmm.
And Engine Squad 2 is gonna flamer your captain.
Okay.
He is currently T5 because of my Canoness.
See?
So that's the Casket of Penance coming into play there.
48 flamer shots.
You know what? I am gonna transhuman him.
Okay.
And we're going to transhuman against this massive flamers. He does have a good armor save against them, so we'll see how they go.
No, I don't.
Alright. So, let me go forwards.
26? Probably gets him. But let's see what we get.
AP1.
AP1.
No, that's going to do it. Ugh, that was terrible. He takes 12?
Yeah, it's pretty dead.
Oh boy.
This is damage. How much damage is this? 1?
1 each.
2.
Yeah, 1.
1 each. 5 ups. Yeah, he's dead.
You really tried, though. A valiant effort there, bud. Unfortunate, and that is MooMooCow's generally his deploy teleport homers guy. So without that dude, it's going to be a little tough for him to be scoring that deploy teleport homers. I didn't see if Word of the Emperor was used this turn.
This anchor is going to shoot this one first.
This one? Okay.
Yep. So 3s and 5s. Dice are not going in the box. 2 saves on your 2 ups.
Both.
Alright. Yeah. Morgan just puts everything here.
Mm-hmm.
So,
She's re-rolling, is she?
Yep.
1 CP. Turn off the reroll.
Okay.
Do I get... Yep, I get it back. So I'm back up to 3.
Right. So the red is the rocket. So these are your saves. Reds are -2, blue is -1, so you're in light cover.
So blue's on still on my 2 up.
Yeah.
Made them both, and the reds are what? Minus?
Yeah, that is a good point.
So 3.
We do have the Vexilla Defensor here to give that +1 armor save effectively to everybody within 6 inches, but the bike captain had moved so aggressively that he was outside of it. Might have survived that flamer shot, or been in a much better position to take that flamer shot if he had snuck back and gotten into that aura.
And that's about it for shooting. Charges. Celestine is going to charge your prosecutors.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 5. This one. Making sure she is technically in heroic range, but not in actual heroic range.
Yep.
Okay. Penitent Engine Squad 1's going to charge the Praetors.
Mm-hmm.
6. Yep, makes sense. Just barely.
Don't overdo it, Penitent Engines. Hot damn. That's a close thing, that charge.
Other Penitent Squad is going to charge, need an 8.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. CP reroll into a 10.
Yeah, there you go.
Staying outside of heroic range. Can you heroic 6 with non-characters?
No.
Okay.
3 only, so that's the...
Yeah, that's what that couple is.
Yeah, Chad, I am the host for the streamed games. Generally, unless we have connection issues that
So,
require it be someone else.
nice. 3 inches is here. Nine. Stern will charge your sack guard.
Okay.
8. Right. Just move them back 4. Yeah. And move him the rest of his floor. Right. That's the end of my charges. Would you like to do any Praetorian nonsense?
Yep.
Wait,
So...
sorry, let me just declare this charge.
Mm-hmm.
If I get any levels,
Interesting. Looking to Praetorian Plate onto Objective 1.
Was not expecting.
What is up with these rolls,
Interesting.
man?
I don't know.
Boxcars, the anchorite charge? Oh my god.
Okay, now you can Praetorian.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
where do I
Praetorian
have
Plate
to
guy, I guess we're committing to the base trade. We can potentially stonewall a couple of attacks with a placement here. Although a lot of, yeah, if he bases some of these Penitent Engines, they won't be able to pile into the Praetors, and then they would, they'd get stuck on him.
And you get...
Because Ash...
You can move
Ash
5,
does
right,
have
you-
2 models within half of half on this unit. These 2 models would get to fight regardless, and this one could probably pile in. Or maybe not, actually, because this Cannon S didn't charge. So, what could happen is if we see a base here, this model's not within an inch, so only this one would get to swing. There wouldn't be room for this one to pile in anywhere. So he could potentially remove 2 Penitent Engines from the fight, essentially, by porting in there. But he's not on the objective, so he's not placing his objective secured there. Penitent Engines
Can I keep them alive?
hampered a little bit just by that big wall trying to engage this really narrow frontage.
He's gonna go there. And I'll place him properly such that you're not gonna be able to pile in. And yeah, I guess you'll fight with these 4 in front, and that's about it.
Okay. So is he basing anyone? He can pick
Yeah.
2 models to base, except these 2. I don't think he fits with. He can base these 2. But he can base any other 2 pair, any other pair.
I think probably the back squad. You can't go through the wall, right? So
No.
you're kind of, these 4 are kind of stuck there. Although now, what's your? It's a -1 toughness, is it?
Yeah, -1 toughness. That's all.
And the other thing is I can't take an invul.
No, that is if I spend the miracle, which I have not currently. She just has a point and fight last, so he would be fighting last.
Okay, but you can't fight him anyway, so that's fine.
So which 2 models are you basing?
If I put him here,
I think it's the 2 on the right
is
is
there
the.
wait, you're fighting with these 2 regardless because it's half an inch.
Mm-hmm.
Is the answer.
Actually, no, he's out of half an inch. So if I base you, if I go like that, you're not piling in with that one,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't fight with this one. So it's only these 3 that are going into the bikes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I think that's the right call.
No, do I? But this objective is pretty much screwed. You have
Maybe. Who knows? The roller coaster out of emotions, chat.
okay. So Stern ignores invulns, right?
Yep. Kaganil does not. He is AP1. He does not ignore invulns.
Okay. But your anchorite is going to be a problem. Is there a universe in which I can go 3? I can press the CP to heroically intervene, move closer, but I'm not within 3.
Yeah. That was-
Yeah, okay. Yep, I guess the Praetorian Plate guy is going there.
Okay. So touching these 2, right?
Yep, those 2.
Okay. So I'll start with the squad.
Mm-hmm.
Correct, close it there. So up. I might move back, him back, such that this is now the closest model. Right here, and here.
I'm not 100% sure I would expect an FAQ on the Praetorian Plate, chat.
Oh, this guy's fighting last of this.
It's
Yeah.
I don't know. It's it's worded pretty clearly how it works. I would be shocked if that was not intended.
Do you reroll? You have Zealot, right? Yeah, 2 CP. Zealot and Transhuman. Actually, no, just Zealot.
I think if there is an if there is an unintended clause in there, it might be that you can place him in melee. I would almost expect the clause for him to be not placed within engagement range, but he places within engagement range. So I don't know.
Okay, kills 1 and puts 1 on a wound, I guess.
Closest to this model, not the Terminator. Yeah. And then 5 swings from the.
Tribosh, this is the T5S2 Season 4 Invitational. So this is the group stage of the Invitational. Basically, we have a online tournament series that takes scores both from tournaments in the Tactical Tortoise Discord, which you can join by putting ! Discord in chat. And we run tournaments all the time. Both sort of tournaments that launch weekly and play 1 game per week, and more elaborate special tournaments occasionally, a couple times a year, like GTs and team events and things like that. We run those all the time. And it also takes scores from events globally that run games of online 40K. If you can go to tts40k.com if you want more information, but also check out the Discord server. We play most of the tournaments that get scored on the Discord. The players right now are playing
Would you like to interrupt?
in the group stage. So the top 16 players out of the online circuit, out of about 300 players, have been broken down into groups of 4. Each group plays against each other, and the top 2 from each group advance to an elimination stage, which is going to be happening on February 12th and 13th.
It's a unit, right? So I have to declare transhuman now, which I will.
And at which point they will be playing single elimination
5 ups.
to get to be the best player in the world.
Wait, 5 ups?
Yeah, ignore your inbounds. This is from stud.
Oh, it's from Sen. Sorry, I thought you meant Kaigano.
So that kills 2.
Yeah, this is the invitational events happen at the end of each season as well. We run seasons biannually, so there's one every an invitational tournament every 6 months. And the new season, Season 5, which has a new map pool and is using the GT 2022 rule set, is new events for that are launching next week. So if you hop in to the Join a Pod channels in the Discord, that gives you entries into the event waitlist. And as soon as an event opens, you'll be added to it and get a little ping in Discord. If you are a Tactical Tortoise patron, which you can join at patreon.com/tacticaltortoise, you get early access to those events. You get put to the front of the line on the waitlist.
Made them all.
Fine. Just move up then.
Oh man, so this is a super big deal. Ephrael and Kaiganil did not kill the Sagittarum on Objective 1. The Anchorite, despite making that 12-inch charge, bounced off the invulnerable save on the Sagittarum, and that meant that Sagittarum is going to be obsecking away Objective 1 and preventing Ash from getting those Defend the Shrine points. That's a huge deal. Now, we do see the Praetorian Plate guys surrounded.
Okay.
So while the Penitent Engines cannot attack him this phase, they will be able to attack him in the Custodes subsequent fight phase, in which case they will probably beat that dude to death. 8 Penitent Engines. There's a lot of Penitent Engines to be dealing with. And without a Desperate Breakout, which would be all of MooMooCow's remaining CP, that also means no shooting onto the Penitent Engines, which is a little bit disappointing.
Okay. And let's
So, as expected, Celestine did clear the
nothing's wrong.
prosecutors over here, but doesn't have to deal with that Praetorian Plate captain.
Not touching.
Interesting that MooMooCow elected to prioritize keeping his bikes alive over holding down this objective, because there's very little else on this side of the table that can fight into over that objective besides Celestine. So if the Praetorian Plate guy was able to lock it down against Celestine, which to be fair is kind of unlikely because she's very good, they would
Oh yeah.
he would be able to hold down that additional 5 primary points every turn. Although holding out Objective 1 means that he's going to be scoring that anyway, so I guess it's fine. Yeah, this is the 9th edition. The 9th edition Custodes Codex.
Okay, so on to me. Sagittarum, I guess, will scratch at your Anchorite.
Mm-hmm.
Full attacks. So when I can spawn dice. Great. Hitting on 2s. I am not within Trajan range, I think. Yep. So, and then wounding on. What's your toughness?
5.
Oh, that's a good call out, chat. Yeah, he can teleport Homer out of melee to hop back to the Vexillus
2
Praetor.
wounds.
That is a good call. Yeah, so he can actually just hop out of there. We can use the stratagem to fall back and shoot with the Praetors and just let loose into these Penitent Engines. Wow, yeah, this trade is actually not that bad for MooMooCow. Especially since he didn't even lose Objective 1, so he's still going to be scoring his 10 primary points. Oh, man. Okay. Seems good. Seems good, chat.
Fights last, right? So the
At least the Praetorian Plate is used up. We don't have to worry about that again. So I do think that MooMooCow is eventually going to lose control of Objective 4. The Telemon might be able to kill Celestine, but I don't know. It seems unlikely. I think she's just going to sit there for a while.
Thing.
Ah, right. All hits. Wounding on. I didn't charge, so no +1 to wound, so that's just 3s. And then rerolling 1s for Trajan and another for Empress Chosen. There you go. 8 wounds.
AP3, so no save.
Yeah.
Let's go. Lives. Dies. What is it? Lives. Dies. So two shots and mortal wounds. 3 mortal wounds for 1 mortal wound.
On the 4 up. Made it.
So interestingly, chat, Celestine is only eligible to healing tears. If she's fighting the Telemon in melee, she's essentially only eligible to healing tears the turn that she dies and respawns, because she respawns out of melee and then can perform her action, but she can't start the action while she's engaged. So if the Telemon charges her and doesn't kill her but kills her Gemini, the Gemini are dead in real life. Oh, all right. Well, this Vexillus teleport homer that we were very excited about actually
6 attacks.
looks like one ended up mattering because Shield Captain.
Okay, all hit.
Or we just killed most of the Penitent Engines in melee with the Virtus Praetors. Good job, Virtus Praetors. Hot damn.
Yeah.
That's true. Can I kill a Canoness, actually?
You can try.
I'll redo the roll. I mean, that's not a problem, but...
Sure.
Considering Unstoppable
Do I wanna kill more
Destroyering
Penitent
into the
Engines?
Canoness,
Yeah, you know, I'll get out of her range for now.
we could also just leave melee, right?
It's very tempting to try and go for the Canoness for an easy kill, but...
Right. She's not in. Sorry, do you mind making one small quick change?
What? Sorry?
This instead. This was here. This was a saw. This was a.
Okay.
Wait. I forgot that these guys. I forgot that these guys can just like blow out the shit.
Okay, right. So do they still have that strat to do
Yes.
mortal wounds, or is that
It's,
once?
it's active until the end of the phase.
Until the end of the phase, okay. You know what, then I'll just come here. Put the... Do I want to move forward? Nah, okay. Yeah, I'll just fall back slightly, then punch into the... Nah, okay. I'm gonna punch into that one with the mortal wounds.
Alright.
No point. So hitting on 2s. 5 hits, wounding on 3s. Let's reroll that for Empress Chosen. 5 wounds. AP -2, so 6 ups. Of course.
And then 2 damage each, right?
2 damage each, yes.
Okay. 1 dice. You. I want to pull you. That doesn't matter. Okay. Okay. So does he take mortal wounds? He does not.
Okay. So that's the end of your turn, I guess. What do you score? Morale? I don't need morale on anything,
I
so
get Miracle. And morale would just be for that one guy. And he's fine.
good. Yeah. And you get 3 for assassinate.
Yep.
Okay.
Not 3 for sure. Because he lives.
So command
in
phase.
all odds.
Yeah. Command phase.
All right. Well, that is Ash's turn done, and I have to say, I was a little bit worried about MooMooCow when the beehive of Penitent Engines were rustled, but certainly not quite as worried anymore.
I think it is.
We basically traded a 1.5 Virtus Praetors, and one of them was wounded even. So I guess like one Virtus Praetor for 3 Penitent Engines, and to get a crack at Ephraim and Kaiganel.
3 more than
We did lose Objective 4.
than 9. Where's your closest?
But, I mean, it's just going to be a question of whether or not the Telemon is up for the challenge of fighting Celestine. She is touching the terrain, interestingly, because she didn't want to engage that Telemon, I imagine, so she is eligible to be shot at. Although I don't know how many attacks are going to be going over there. We could shoot Sagittarium at her just to try to knock out the Gemini, and maybe force a respawn on Celestine this turn.
Both.
But also equally likely, we just need to kill the Penitent Engines here.
I get it. Auto wound on a 6, and yeah. And I get +1 on the charge. Well, +1 strength, not quite on the charge. +1 wound on the charge on the Lances. Yeah, they're not engaged.
Starius getting channel membership. Congratulations. Thank you for supporting the channel. I appreciate it.
No, it's never shows anything.
Enjoy all of the cool advanced tactics content that is available on YouTube. Also available for patron members.
Yeah.
Over at patreon.com/tacticaltortoise. We have a lot of tactics videos you can check out over there. I have another one that unfortunately was delayed by invitational work, but should be coming out relatively soon. Talking all about unit coherency, which I think is pretty interesting. A lot of wild and wacky things you can do with unit coherency.
I am... spending 1 CP here. What's the 2 for?
Round 2 regen CP.
Oh, right, yeah. Did I regen it?
Yes.
In your turn?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, right. Yeah. For teleport Homer, I'm gonna move. Well, no, that's happening later. Command phase 1 for fallback and shoot with the Praetors.
Alright, so it looks like we will see a teleport Homer to pull that guy out of melee.
Or do I just want to fall back and charge?
That wombo combo is pretty cool, chat. I'm not gonna lie. You port that dude right in, disrupt a bunch of scoring, and then he just nopes right out of there. I must go. My planet needs me.
Yeah. Okay. Command phase. I will put them in solo watch, I think. Oh no, the shooting's a lot better. You know what? No. Fall back and shoot. Okay. Yeah, that's actually in the movement phase, so that no other thing to spend in the command phase. I'm in double Randex, but yeah. Movement phase.
You're in double Randex, but which Randex? Because
Sorry.
next, so you still need to pick one of them, because next turn.
All right. Yeah. Fair enough. I will go for the stance 2. I think. Actually, no, stance 1.
Alright, so next turn you're in stance. If you keep it. You probably will.
Yeah, I keep.
Okay.
Yeah. So movement. I am spending my next CP there to teleport home and route. 9 inches. Although this blob here is pretty much dead at this stage. Fall back and shoot on them. Okay, these guys are unengaged. Coming here. So what do I want to know? Sorry. Where was he? He goes like so. Something like that. They're going here. And I was moving the Sagittarium up. So they were moving 4. Vexillus Praetor moving up.
You gotta shove them back like 1/4 of an inch. Or like a tenth of an inch on this
Yeah,
guy,
sure.
but this guy's gonna.
Okay, he's falling back slightly. Trajan is moving up 6.
If you're planning to charge it already.
Yeah. Not touching the train yet. And he teleport homeward, so that's all she wrote. Telemon is gonna move up just a bit. And then the Dread is dropping in. Could you put a 9-inch bubble on Val, please? Thank you.
Yeah, you're not dropping on Val.
Does he get bodyguarded by Celestians?
No bodyguard, but yes for lookout, sir. I do not
okay.
believe you can fit in your bubble.
In which case... Nine is something like so. Standing there. Should still have visibility to all your stuff. Yep, okay, so on to shooting. Purple can't charge, but they can shoot. They are gonna shoot the... no. They're gonna shoot the anchor right there.
Okay.
2 shots. On twos, both hits. No auto wounds. Both wound. Go straight through. Damage.
The bikes? Alright.
The bikes, yeah.
So that is.
That is 5
Sweet
plus... Well, yeah, 10. Oh, wow.
20.
Okay.
So close.
That was very close. Too close for combat. Yeah, might make my charge harder. So he is putting the Adrathic into that penitent engine there, and the spear into the penitent engines at the back.
Okay.
So the twin Adrathic destructors is 4 shots.
Can he see this
Thank you.
penitent engine?
From the edge of his spear, I was like that, but
Because it passes through your breakers.
uh,
I mean, if he could just have come down like tilted it. That was wrong.
yeah, I mean,
Fine.
is that, am I pinging? Well, not tell.
Yeah, I mean, you just bring him down facing to it. It's fine.
Yeah.
No.
The intent, I guess, was to really to get that line of sight on
Yep,
and then
no
charge
skin
it.
off my,
Yeah.
No skin off my fish.
Yeah. Hitting on twos. I'm not gonna reroll that. That's an auto wound, and then oh no, he doesn't get kata. Sorry. And then wounding on 4s. It's 1. Do I want to reroll that? 3 damage. Yeah, I think I'll try and reroll that. Nope, still fails. So 1. 3 damage, AP minus 3. So just 3 Female Pains. takes 3. Okay, and then the little big one into the unit at the back. So I think yep, that's both it. And then 3s to wound. Yep, both wound.
Save 1.
Yeah.
Take 2 damage.
Okay. Chip damage helps. Vexillus Praetor into the Penitent Engine.
Sure.
He's in rapid fire range, so 2 shots, both hits, and then 5s to wound, re-rolling 1 for Empress Chosen.
Ooh.
Both wound.
Vexillus Praetor, calm down, dude.
EP1, right?
AP1, 2 damage.
2.
Goes through. Okay. Trajan, then gonna go into the Penitent Engines. Also in rapid fire range. Both hits. No wounds. I will reroll 1 for Empress Chosen. Nope. The fell back. Melta shot into the Penitent Engines here.
All right. I think this is going to be big. If we can convert highly onto this Penitent Engine squad and remove them.
Ontos.
That's a lot of the Sororitas damage.
That's an one auto wound, and then do I re-roll this? Wounding on 3s. Nope, I'll take it, I guess. And then the other one on 3s. Okay. 2 wounds.
Damage.
Oh yeah. Damn it. First one is D3 plus 3, so 4.
4 and... Do you want me to roll them or take?
Yeah, 4 and 6.
Right. So 4 dies, and then the 6 survives.
Lives.
2.
So only gets 1
Good
Penitent
stuff.
Engine.
No, take 6. Right?
But we do have the charges to
are
try to
just
finish
gonna dump everything into Stern and Kiganel, I guess.
And we do have to be cognizant of the Retributor squad that's hiding over here. So if these Virtus Praetors
So 9 shots.
move out of the cover of the building too aggressively, that Retributor squad could pounce on them. And we are out of defensive CP for MooMooCow, so there's a much higher chance of much higher chance of them getting vaporized by those Meltas versus the first turn we saw them shoot.
4.
And this is where I'll reroll that. No, it's 4s? Your T5?
T3 minus 1.
Oh, T3 minus 1. Okay, yeah, that's... So I won't. I'll just take that for now.
Cardinal 4 ups. 2 damage. Takes 1.
Very annoying. And then the 3 Adrathic Destructor shots. All hits. And I can reroll this. This is 4s, and I'll reroll that for Empress Chosen. Nope. 2.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
You're good.
Afriel and Kai,
Hey,
just tanking.
that is
Just tanking.
down to the charge. I am going to put... Oh wait, no, hang on, the Telemon. Telemon is going to shoot everything into Celestine and the Gemini.
Yeah, like...
Do you have -1 damage?
On Celestine only.
Only Celestine, okay. So,
Now, interestingly, the Praetorian Plate Captain is by himself on Objective 3.
I assume
So he is now targetable. He's also outside of the Vexillus
no, 10
aura.
shots from the... I'm using this because Paul launched it first.
you have to declare which profile you're using for the...
Oh yeah, true, sorry, yes. So yes, the 1 damage one. Yeah. So, 7 shots, and that's 7 hits. Wounding on 3s. That many.
Okay, in
AP
cover,
minus 1.
so 2 up.
You're in cover? You're right in front of me.
Nice.
Oh, right, because you're standing on the thing. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a note in the tooltip there that you're only in cover if your line of fire is obscured by the vertical elements of the terrain.
Oh, alright.
Alright.
So I take
So
1
3
damage.
ups. Take 1 damage.
Yeah, that is a terrain house for these pieces. We elected to use the obstacle
then
rolls for
Flavor,
terrain, but obviously it
shots,
creates awkward interactions if You are standing on top of an obstacle.
That was one.
So essentially,
And this is on 2.
we've just considered the base of the train for line of sight, and the walls themselves for providing cover. So there is a clause about that in the train rules.
2, okay, and then the
Oh, man.
heavy, the big gun.
And both of the Gemini get killed by
6 shots.
the gunshot. Oh no, Celestine.
On 2s. All hits.
Assuming she does
On 2s. Small
respawn.
wound.
Yeah, we're gonna have to slow roll these out. Oh man, this is much more dangerous to Celestine than I was expecting. 3 go through from the first 3 saves?
CP that.
Chat. What is this? So CP reroll into a success. She's down to 1.
She dies.
And she goes down in the
goes back at
shooting
the end of
phase.
phase 1.
Oh no!
Okay, so that
Telemon Dreadnought. We talked about how you were going to get sandbagged by Celestine. That is apparently not the case. He can turn around and just punch her to death.
Oh, she does not come back. Okay.
And she rolled a 1 on the respawn, chat!
So, rolling for that 9-inch shot.
Oh no!
Into Giganal and the revenge.
That's so brutal!
Nope, 7. Re-rolling for Eternal Penitent.
So that means the Telemon Dreadnought is going to hold objective 4? I mean, it can be contested maybe by these Anchorites or these Penitents, but they have to get all the way over there. That movement's so... That's a really long movement. It would need a relatively big advance to get over there in a single move. This Telemon might just hold down the rest of this objective for the rest of the game. Oh, man.
Okay.
That's enormous.
Charge into your...
Ash's plan definitely hinged on Celestine being able to contest objective 4 to give her control of primary, but now the entirety of the game is basically swung to this left side of the table, which is a fight that she's losing.
Yeah, I can fit in the gap. Yes.
Chat.
Should not be able to
That's crazy.
battle sisters.
Who do I want to charge here? Canoness, Penitent Engines. Well, you have 1 squad that can come in. I'll charge the Penitent Engines.
Alright, 1 CP, Flamers. Watch.
Oh, yep, go for it.
So 6. Total 22. On 3s because you're inside the bubble for the Canoness.
Oh, yeah.
So big
Six.
Overwatch here onto the Praetors. No wounded models. Oh, and that's a bad
This one
saving
damage,
throw.
but
One
I like
Praetor
that.
goes down to the Flamer Overwatch. Uh-oh. That's pretty scary.
Yep. Okay, and then charges. 11. Perfect. Staying out of your 3-inch.
Sure.
Just because that's very, very annoying. Okay,
I thought you were going to play Ops and Cole was going to play.
Well, that's a good call out, chat. Yeah, the...
That's why I took that.
I was
route.
going to play Ox.
I thought you were going to curveball me and play Ops.
Does the Vexillus do that?
Oh man, okay, Vexillus Praetor is gonna go into that, blob into Giganal instead as well. Let's see how far I go. 8, so...
Are
I
they,
can
the
go like
Praetors,
so.
were the Praetors in, light cover against the Overwatch there?
Yeah, they were.
So are they saving on 2s or 3s?
Well, I assumed the Flamer was,
It's AP1.
-2. It's AP1?
Yeah.
Oh, so I should have, he lives, he lives then.
I did actually speak up, and then you came away, and I was just like,
Oh, okay, sorry.
I
So,
don't
yeah,
know
do you mind if I
you-
put it back?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I didn't know if there was a timing restriction on the Vexillus Praetor, but yeah, that's a good call out.
Yeah.
They thought that the Flamers were AP2. They're just +1 strength, not +1 AP.
Thanks for catching that, and I was doing that, so he moved 2, and he's gonna go there, and then
Good catch,
Trajan's gonna go
chat.
in as well.
Sure.
7, so he goes, you just go spies that way.
Watch them survive that entire squad.
They might. They might.
We did make the charge out of Deep Strike with the Contemptor as well. Oh my god. This is all coming up Custodes right now.
Oh,
We need to see a big swing in this Praetor unit.
You'll be aware that
They're charging out of the Fight Last aura, so they're not going to be Fight Lasted by Word of the Emperor. Although we do have Interrupt CP on Ash's side of the table if she wants it. Might want to swing at Ephraim and Kygranel, but I imagine that we swing at this Versus Praetor unit first.
Oh, right, sorry. I also generate a miracle for the shooting phase because I lost a character.
Okay. They don't have Fight Fest. Okay, so you know what? I will go with. So hard to decide. Trajan's gonna go first, I guess. Try and kill Kagano.
Okay.
6 attacks, hitting on 2s, rerolling.
So we're
All
going
hit,
first with the
and
Dreadnought.
then wounding on
So
3s,
we'll
right?
allow
'Cause
the
you're
Interrupt into the penitent with the
Also, I
Penitent
got
Penitent
threes
Engine,
as well, but
which is a little scary.
Empress Chosen.
okay, so 3 damage each. Right.
Yeah.
Kagranel dies. Then takes 3.
Takes out Kygranel.
Okay.
Do we see the Interrupt here?
For what it's worth, they took. Wait, no, that's not defensive.
And then the Misericordia from Trajan.
Yeah.
Hits. Wounds.
Right.
You're good.
Okay.
So, do you want to interrupt?
Thinking about it.
With CP.
Yeah, sure. I'll spend 2 CP to interrupt onto the Vexillus.
Okay.
So interrupting with Ephriel. Interesting. Gonna try to remove that Vexillus and all of its attendant abilities. She does ignore
Ending
invulnerable
on
saves and
3s.
comes in at that sweet AP3.
I'll CP.
Nope.
Right.
Okay. So 5 ups.
Oh, and he makes all his armor saves!
Get a ball.
Oh, no!
Okay. So I have a lot more choices now.
Oh, man. Oh, that's brutal.
So now I'm coming in here.
Yeah, I think the
trying
interrupt
to
on Ephriel was to
remove
try to, I mean, not only remove
that.
attacks on her, she's probably still going down to all the infantry, but is going to make the attacks back from the other Penitent Engine
not
unit
touching
that
a
much more
bubble,
powerful
and-
into the Versus Praetors,
So I can
and
get
Ash has to remove those models as quickly as possible.
And I am still in. Yep.
But that was 2 CP to make your opponent roll a bunch of 5-ups. Oh, no.
Okay, so that many auto wounds. Rerolling 1 for Trajan.
And here come the Praetors, yeah, with 4 auto wounds through from
These are then
Rendax. Is that the case? Oh my
now
god.
strength 8. And then +1 to wound, so that is, yeah, 2 wound. Rerolling 1 for Trajan. Yep, 12 wounds. Total. AP -3, so, and 2 damage each.
So, 24 total damage on the Penitents. We probably see them get wiped out. These Versus Praetors really showing off. They're really styling on these Penitent Engines. They're like, oh, you think you're powerful 5-wound multi-model units? Let me show you a powerful 5-wound multi-model unit with my Melta-gun missile launcher and my lance that wounds everything on 2s.
I am not planning to consolidate, I think.
Absolutely brutal. Oh, man.
Guess Contemptor is going to go in just to touch that. And strike next. So with the Penitent, 6 attacks. Yes, yep, 6 attacks. On 2s. You don't have a -1 anymore.
No, they're always
Real 1s for Trajan.
always -1.
Always -1.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a unit ability.
3s.
Mhm.
Rerolling 3 wounds. It's dead.
And there goes Ephriel as well.
Okay, and then I guess just
Wow.
consolidate, try and keep a hold of that.
Okay, well,
No, sorry. He's going
that's
there.
that. I think Jay has to be, or MooMooCow, excuse me, has to be very happy with about how his
Yeah, I think
game is looking so far. 2 entire Penitent Engine units removed. He's killed Ephriel and Kaiganil. He's killed Celestine. Morven is wounded. He basically has to deal with 1 remaining Penitent unit and some attendant characters. And from there, he can try to force the issue. There is this Retributor squad in the back. They don't have good shots quite yet. I mean, maybe we can make a push for the purple Praetor unit, but that looks a little long. Praetorian Plate Captain is chilling on Objective 3 here. He is in grave danger. I think there's a non-zero chance the Praetorian Plate Captain gets shot to death, but we'll see. It seems like a good place for Morven to shoot her rocket launchers. But obviously with the very appropriate defensive stats on these Adeptus Custodes units, MooMooCow may just fade those attacks. Boca, do you count an inch when rotating bike-like vehicles, or is it like infantry? Any model that rotates counts the rotational distance. Full stop. Doesn't matter what shape your base is. It's usually not relevant for round-based stuff unless you're trying to measure your line of sight or something like that.
I'll put you in another 3 for
But yeah, you always measure rotational distance.
holding at least 1 and 2. I don't think you're holding more. All right.
0.6.
Yep.
Yeah, a 3 on the primary objective scoring now because of that Telemon Dreadnought.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, AshC's target priority here is going to be interesting to see. Interestingly, she does, or the Virtus Praetor unit here, the one model inside the Vexillosaura is the wounded one. So if AshC can kill that guy before the Flamers attack, the Flamers will be that much more effective at shooting the unit, although they will have a tougher time drawing that line of sight. Yeah, so it's going to be awkward. Just got to hope Jay has a bunch of 1s in his future, I think.
Fine.
So it looks like we can sneak 3 Flamer shots
They're gonna reposition a bit.
into the Praetor.
Yeah. Don't care about that gap.
Now, we should mention as well, obviously, Morven Val is still an absolute powerhouse, and we can't forget about that. Especially combined with that Canoness, making everything else around her that much less effective. Looks like we are going to be able to get a little bit of line of sight onto this Virtus Praetor squad. And importantly here, actually, the Virtus Praetor that's wounded is the one on the outside, on the left-hand side of this unit. The reason that that's important is that the Retributors are probably going to shoot and try to kill that guy. Then, after their attack activation, they can fire their Armorium Cherubs. And because all the wounds have to go into this guy first, Jay's not going to be able to pull this guy to remove himself out of range of that Retributor shot. But we do still have a double fight remaining on Morven Val. She has full rerolled herself. So we can still see a ton of damage get put out by Morven. And importantly, with how defensively AshC is playing her backline objective holders, if she's able to kill the Virtus Praetors, especially because a lot of this Custodes stuff is relatively slow infantry and these dreadnoughts that can't move through walls, she is going to be able to passively score out with these models hiding in the back here. So she has to remove these flying jet bikes as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that Jay has made some phenomenal and vulnerable saving throws, and I guess just arbor saving throws also, over the course of these last couple of turns, I am very impressed with how much work this Casket of Penance Canoness is getting in right now. Just dropping those Praetors by 1 point of toughness, turns out, against a lot of these Strength 6 weapons is such a big deal. And the Crusaders are making a comeback? Where you going, Crusaders? What are you doing?
Bonding is necessary. I don't think it is. Definitely not. Okay. So. Shooting. That was these Reds. They're gonna shoot the bikes here.
Okay. Here comes the Retributor shot.
You have no CP, so right. It's just the two in front. Any?
What is?
As in the Reds are shooting
Those two.
bikes.
Yeah, go for it. Nothing I can do.
Oh no! 3 misses on the first Retributor shot.
And when they on to
They fail their saves.
Damage.
What do we have for Miracle Dice here?
guy
A
kills
bunch of
his
threes. Okay.
Just like, no, he was already injured.
Yep, no, that's 4 on the first one and then 6 on the second, right?
And
So
we
this
rolled a
goes closer.
6 to kill both Virtus Praetors. Oh no. Don't even need to spend our Armorium Cherubs now.
Lucky guy.
And then they are slightly out of range of the Shield Captain. Well, there you go. Literally, I think not a single target for those ladies. Non-zero chance they get killed by the Telemon,
Okay.
but there are 5 of them. He only has 6 shots. They might survive.
Yeah, I guess. Morgan will shoot them. So
Morven Vol
No,
firing
just go
into the
with,
Praetors.
Flamers.
Nope, just kidding. It's Flamers.
Into the bikes, okay.
Yep, so 20 shots.
Yeah, I think if Morven overperforms there, they could pull the Flamer shots out of range.
Because your injured guy is the guy inside the aura.
Yep. So I'm saving on 2s, right?
Yep.
First 4 is good.
2 wounds so far.
Oh no.
What time now?
Good. Good.
He's on 2 wounds.
Yep.
Morven just dumps everything into him.
Mm-hmm.
So, bolters. All hit. Bolters
Shooting
all
phase is so tense.
It has to be one at a time. But
Oh, right, well.
rockets. One at a time.
This should be on this on a 3-up, is it? Right?
Yep.
So first save from the
No.
rocket launcher
Up in the
fails.
3,
No
he
CP
dies.
for a reroll.
Yep, he dies.
She
Then
miracles
the other
the
one's on
kill.
4. Has you.
Very nice.
Yep.
And the other one also fails. Do we see a 5-up? No, only 3
3
damage on that
damage.
second Praetor.
Yep.
Ooh, boy. Well, this is the
And then
damage
we
output that we wanted to see
both
from
these heavy bolters.
Ash. She has not a terribly long charge here. Probably a 7 or an 8 to get those penitents in around that wall.
Targets each other have.
Mm-hmm.
And she did kill something in the shooting phase, so she is due another miracle die.
And 5.
This is on the captain.
Yep.
Super good shot
He's good. Okay.
from the anchorite shooting, but we
so generate a
make our
miracle.
saves.
Miracle's a 2. Gone. Okay.
Miracle
That was
not going to help too
Penguin,
much.
Sororitas.
Here's the penitent engine charge.
Slightly more than a 6, I think.
I think a
But you gotta go
7
around.
might do it.
5.
Yep. You could.
Wow, exactly makes it. The charges have
And
been
you can't do
on
the
point
prison
this
on-
game.
Alright.
No, I can't.
Oh my god. All right, question here is where we see Morven go in. I think she wants to get stuck into the heart of this OBSEC
so you
blob
should be
here,
able to do
but doing so
absurd
might
You should
invite
not be able to do
doom.
them, like, constantly follow.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so I can charge from outside this, I'm gonna want this, so let me
There might be a universe where Morven charges the Praetors, activates first to try to kill them. Yep, it looks like that's what we're going to do, and we're going to try to, I imagine, use our pile and consolidate movement to block off Morven using the penitent engines to keep her alive for another turn.
Trajan can heroic 6. Right?
I can do 6 anyway, yeah.
Right, so the cannon is going to try and charge. 12.
Another 12-inch charge for Ash.
That's a 13 around us, which you go.
Okay, well that's pretty useful.
To this corner.
Keeps her
if
safe in the back here.
boxes were not so fun. Okay.
The Sisters of Silence performed well on the one turn they got to stand there before Celestine cut them into many tiny pieces. They are all dead.
Basically supposed to be outside of 6 of Trajan, your base is not clipping properly, so I cannot do so much. Okay. Point at them, they get fight last, not that it matters. And alright, so we'll start with Val.
Yep, so here comes Morven.
Yep.
Full rerolls on her. So she has a good chance of
swings,
taking
so
these guys out, depending on how invulnerable saves go. Oh, maybe not like that.
Technically, I could still, I could still move 6 inches, right?
No, you need to be able to declare it.
Yeah, but I'm right next to Val, right?
No, but that was after a Paladin.
Oh, that was before. Okay, so where were you?
I was here.
Yeah, okay.
I was
Yeah, go for it
6.3,
then.
and then I moved up.
Yeah,
because I
got
need
it.
to
She was
give them
certainly
space to fight.
Yeah, sure. Got it.
Rerolls.
You do have to be eligible to declare a heroic intervention, which means you have to be in the
threes,
range that's appropriate.
rerolling.
Val's rerolls
Lemon
converting
saves.
all of her attacks. Let's see what we get here. 2 fails, so
3
we're
damage
gonna
each, so first guy dies, second guy takes
kill one Praetor, wound the other one. That might be enough to get her into a safe place. We base and the penitent engines do pile and consolidate additional distance, so we basically need to move moving this way, kill that guy, and then move around Val's base to try to body block her off.
5. So 30 flail, let's just do Bassos. Bassos. Yeah, two inbounds.
That just gets rid of that
Two damage,
Praetor.
so
All
two.
right. All the Virtus Praetors removed. And we get a nice 5-inch consolidate move to keep Val and the Canoness safe
1 inch, no,
for as long as possible. Yep, there it is. This game has been insane, chat. We are down to a handful of bottles on both these players' sides, pulling out some deep strategies to try to keep our units alive. And Val retaining that double fight. Look at this bodyguard here. Trying to place perfectly so nothing can get into the engagement range around the side. Or at least anything that does will get fight lasted.
Target shoot Trajan at this point. Yes, Trajan, so then she will consolidate.
So what do we need to see from Jay this
Actually
turn?
facing these two
He needs to get rid of these Retributors to stop them from getting another round of shooting off, because they
so
do
that you cannot beat
still
engage
have their
damage
two
without
Armorium
using
Cherubs.
one ninja fire.
Okay, sure.
So that's a potential 5 multi-meltas, 10 multi-melta shots coming out of that unit if they're not killed. So the Telemon has to commit into there. And then dealing with both the Penitent Engines and Morven Val, who we have to remember, importantly, halves damage. So all of these 2 damage, these little 2 and 3 damage attacks are going to be significantly less reliable at killing her from the Custodes infantry. And this is something that Ash is absolutely great at doing. She presents her opponent with a very aggressive posture and essentially a puzzle that they need to solve. So right now, she's asking MooMooCow, can you deal with the Penitent Engines and Morven Val with this Fight Last Aura and this very defensive positioning? And if you can't, I'll win the game. And there certainly is a lot of damage in this little compound area of the Custodes army right now. But any misplay from MooMooCow at this stage of the game could potentially end it for him. Important to remember, both these players kind of getting gimped a little bit on secondary objectives. So Ash, she is scoring Raise the Banners high passively. And she has a good chance of scoring some additional points on Assassination over the course of the game as well. So she is incentivized to play as defensive a game as humanly possible. She just wants to sit here, chalk up that Raise the Banner score, keep primary objectives at parity, because MooMooCow is not scoring behind enemy lines, and he's not scoring deploy teleport homers.
Somewhat. I am gonna not. Come on. Where's he?
Telemon's over here, chat.
Take a bit less movement, I think. Pivot him so that he doesn't.
He's holding down the fort on objective 4 with Panache.
What am I clipping on?
Importantly, a swing point in this game was the Telemon. There was a unit of prosecutors here that were charged by Celestine. She killed them. The Telemon then shot Celestine's entire unit to death in one go.
Sorry, do you know what?
And she failed to respawn,
Well, no, it doesn't matter.
which was absolutely brutal.
Thank you.
And that essentially unlocked that objective for MooMooCow. It was looking dicey that he would be able to score that over the course of the game, and the Telemon was exactly the hero that he needed right then.
Okay. Is there a way you can get your rats to shoot my Telemon? Stand there. I think I should still be able to see your Penitent Engine.
As we're going through Jay's movement phase, real quick here, I do want to throw a shout out to our T5S2 Invitational sponsors, GameMat.eu, which makes all sorts of 2D and 3D wargaming terrain, both 3D pre-painted resin terrain in a variety of styles, and some gorgeous battle mats. They've been kind enough to send me over a table full of terrain, which we'll be using for some in-person streaming, hopefully coming up relatively soon.
Main gun, which helps. Okay.
And I'm excited to have them on board. 3D6 Wargaming as well. If you like these little objective markers that we have, you can get your own at 3d6wargaming.com. They make all sorts of play aids for Warhammer 40k, which are super nice. And the top 4 participants in the Invitational are getting bespoke sets, limited edition for the Invitational. So if you want your own of those, you got to qualify next season. So good luck.
Engines, I'm gonna fire. Yeah. I'm gonna fire both at them.
Okay.
Yeah, probably worth it. The 3 shots first from the Adrathic. Because why the hell not? Hitting on 3s. Ugh, rerolling. Do I want to reroll anything? Empress Chosen, one of them.
Yeah.
Yep, 2 hits, and then forced wound. Yep, 1 wound.
AP3.
AP3, 3 damage.
Yeah, so interestingly, the Telemon electing that discretion is the better part of valor, and holding control of Jay's objective there in his deployment zone,
And then the 9 shots.
not moving out to shoot at the Retributors. Schatzberger, the top 16 players in the T5S2 season standings at the end of the season, which is every 6 months.
Oh wait, hang on. Sorry.
So the next one will be ending in late June. Are given invites to the Invitational.
Oh yeah, I'm not a kata. Yeah, sorry. I'm completely forgetting. It's not katas. And then force. Rerolling ones for Trojan. That many. 5.
If you're not in the Discord chat, !Discord. You can earn season standing points for T5S2 by playing in online tournaments. We run a ton of them in the Tactical Tortoise Discord. Our regular pods start one or two, or sometimes more each week. And we're going to be launching ones for the new season next week. So if you're getting those wait lists, if you want to be joining those as soon as possible. And Tactical Tortoise patrons get early access to those pods, so they will be pushed to the front of the wait list.
Do I want to reroll one? Yep, Empress chosen. Yep, so 3 wounds, AP -2.
Yeah, come play games, and if you play games outside of the server as well, most online tournaments are ranked in T5S2. And if you are participating in any tournaments, ask them if they, at least 1,500 points or larger, ask them if they are submitting scores, and if they're not, they can get in touch with me and submit their scores for the series.
And 2 shots from the Lesbia. I should be within 6 inches of Trajan.
That's true. Yeah.
Alpha does not submit to T5S2, no chance. They have their own system.
Did I Empress chosen one of them? I think I did, so
So, yeah. There's the 2.
Okay. Gradually chipping away. Guardian Spear into you.
Auto.
Both hit.
So our internal events chat, we have a series of wait lists or channels in the server that you can post in to add yourself to the wait list. We also have special events that you
Terminator armor will put
that are usually just operated like a normal tournament with a sign-up page,
everything is independent,
which are announced independently on the server.
Assault D3 for 2, hitting on 2s. Both hit, wounding on 4s.
The Invitational is invite-only chat, but in order to get your invite, you gotta play the other tournaments and get points.
Take 1. And then the rapid fire axe. Both hit. 5s to wound. Real 1. No, Trojan doesn't. Yep.
If you haven't seen them before, chat, we do stream a lot of the Tactical Tortoise events as well that happen over in the Discord. !Replays in chat will get you to our replay channel, where all of the VODs from Twitch eventually end up. And you can see we have a playlist for Season 4 event finals, and you can watch all of the previous event finals there, at least the ones that were streamed. All right, well, shooting, taking down those penitent engines.
And then the Adrathic.
Slowly but surely.
Oh, sorry, that was...
And exposing Morphinval and her Canoness friends.
Yeah, there's only one of them, sorry.
To get charged by many custodians.
Hitting on, not that. And this as well, use the chosen reroll. Still fails. Okay. Trajan, shooting your penitent engine. Your fight last is everybody fights last, or just
just one target.
Okay. So Trajan, rapid firing into that last penitent engine. Yep. 2 hits. That's 1 wound so far. Reroll the other. Nope, 1 wound. 2 damage.
Got one.
Okay. Probably should have. And that's where the Telemon actually made a difference. Although I suppose 2 shots maybe wouldn't have killed him, but okay. Charges. What? How far is this? 5.
Yeah, I wonder if I think there was maybe a line of sight that Jay could trace
going into all 3.
down this alley, where he could have taken Telemon shots into the Penitent engines, and I wonder if he just missed sequences attacks. Looks like the Contemptor going into Morven. Importantly, it doesn't look like anything going to Objective 2, so MooMooCow continuing not to score behind enemy lines and allowing this banners to continue to tick up for Ash.
That's fine. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the Trajan is going to go into Val and the Canoness.
Okay.
You don't have CP to interrupt, right?
No.
Okay, so it doesn't matter. And so fight last wouldn't matter either. Going 10, so that's just going there. Alara's captain is going to go into the Val, I think. 4 inches. Is that enough? Yeah. Okay. The rest of them are just gonna stand there.
Okay.
All right, let's see
Actually,
what we
maybe
get.
I should shank your Penitent engine.
Now, interestingly, the Contemptor charged a little bit on the apex of this furball here. And it will, if Morven dies, I wonder if we activate that guy first in order to get him around into this area. Because otherwise, if Morven...
I am gonna pile in, like I said, give the choice.
Yeah, if Morven dies, he would have to go this way.
Which is going.
Oh, right, yes. Okay, sure. So, that's fine.
Oh, no, he got no. So the issue here is that this guy is going to be an
1, 2,
easy line of sight of the
everything.
Retributors once they start advancing.
And
If he can't get
those
out.
auto wound. And then
That is a
the
target that they
remainder
very much
are
want to shoot
strength
at.
10, you are toughness. 5, so 2s. Yep, so that's 6 wounds on your invul.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Marvin, what do you got? 2 for 1 goes through.
Increase that by 1.
Moment of Grace. So she has 3 more to make.
So far.
And it does need 2 to kill her because she will half damage. 1 more goes through.
So it takes 4.
Okay, Captain's going in next. Another 6 attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me, that was Trajan.
2s.
I guess we pulled back the Contemptor activation. Okay.
You know what? I think I will reroll this here. Fish for the 6. Nope. So that's 1 auto wound. And then 3s. There you go. 5 wounds. AP minus 3, 2 damage.
You know what? No.
And there goes
She's
Morven.
dead. Okay. So he'll go there.
Mm-hmm.
You can choose who to fight next.
Canoness will go.
Okay.
It's kind of equidistant, so.
So Canada's moving to escape the Contemptor's melee range.
No, I thought I based her.
No, you. Oh, did you? Because she.
Yeah, well, the intent was to base. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
You're not moving.
Alright, sure. Should just swing it.
Yeah, sit down, Canada's.
The-
I'm gonna hit you with my spear. Boop.
Yep.
Captain.
Praetorian or Trajan?
The captain. 1 wound
Captain,
IP.
okay. 1 wound OAP on my 2 up.
Almost went through. That would have been
Okay,
embarrassing.
and then your Penitent engine can go next.
Now your Achilles fights normal.
Does he? I thought you said he fights last.
He fights last, but he charged, so he fights normal. That's
Oh, right. Okay.
how that interaction works.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So he'll go in like so,
Mhm.
and then he will. Oh, sorry. He's on the base. And yeah, I guess he'll hit the penitent engine.
Sure.
So that's 6 attacks, hitting on 2s. All hit, wounding on 2s. All wound.
That's it.
D3 plus 3 damage. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's ready to.
Like, take 30. Enjoy that. The Canada's still alive
Just
somehow,
gonna remain
though.
there, I think. And then, well, no, I guess I'll pile in.
Yeah, can we
And
give her
then
a try
Trajan's
point,
gonna
maybe?
use the moment shackle and fight again.
Oh, Trajan's just gonna try to kill her.
Try and kill your
Yeah, the wrap would have been good,
reroll.
but I wonder if the movement on
All
the
hit.
Contemptor maybe wasn't quite there.
Wounding on 2s. Empress chosen. 6 wounds.
Oh, never mind. She just
Oh,
she just
wow.
biffs it. Easy.
She's good.
But he would get a pile in there, right? You want to wrap?
Casually passes all of them. Yep. So that's my turn.
Here comes the 6.
No, that's-
Yeah, no try point, chat. Uh-oh.
And yes, that's over to you.
But we are super low on effective units on Ash's side of the table. I still think, even if these Retributors kick up an immense amount of damage, I mean, we could see the Retributors go and kill the Dreadnought, and then maybe potentially kill one of the characters as well with the Cherub activation. It's still going to be an uphill battle for her. So she is continuing to tick up points on Raise the Banners High. I imagine, yeah, she does want to grab those assassination points as well. Although, I think basically these players like throwing away a couple of their secondaries. Like, I don't need teleport homers. I don't need defend the shrine. It's fine. Who cares about those? But I think we're going to come down to
how many do I have on Bring It Down?
very close finish
11.
here.
Probably 15. 14.
Yeah, it should be 2 Anchorites, Morven, or 1 Anchorite, excuse me, Morven, and 13 Penitents. Yeah, 14 on Bring It Down. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Or 12 Penitents, excuse me.
Yeah. I don't need to take. Yeah.
So Canoness falling back onto the objective. We do have a
I don't care
CP.
about your Alaris. It's just Trajan, the Exodus, and Contemptor are in. Okay.
To intervene.
Retributors advance.
And here come the Retributors.
15.
These advance rolls, chat. Like maybe we miracle the 6.
You're gonna find it hard to get across, I think. Yeah.
Very good. Front one should have been able.
Yeah. The front one can. The front one can. Yeah. It's the...
That's the thing that.
Yeah,
I guess yeah. The back one, if you find the angle.
Nash. No, wait,
Yeah.
that one.
There you go.
Find that angle, but. 5 and. 7, 5.
Yeah, it looks like good lines of sight from their Retributors.
Yep. Okay, Crusaders will advance.
Just watch coherency on this one. I think it has to pull back a tiny bit.
Crusaders will advance. 11, 9.
So importantly as well, chat, this is the second to last game for Group 1. MooMooCow already 1-1 with a big win against Agent X and a still effective 66-point loss to Kogo. If MooMooCow wins this game, it's highly likely that he will squeak his way into the top 2 out of the group. Ash is already has a big win against Agent X, but her other 2 games are unplayed. So if she wins this game, she'll also be looking good to get out of the group, but she still has to play a game against Kogo and his orcs. But MooMooCow is certainly fighting for his life here. And if he's able to get this game, it's going to be a big deal for the final placement of the group.
Great. Shooting. All these anchorites are both shooting that one Sagittarium. Did flattening him move me out again? Yes, it did.
Yep,
Removing the light bulb made him harder to. Force. Nothing. Amazing. Okay. This one Retributor is going to shoot him. The other 2 are shooting the Achilles.
Do you have rerolls for any of this? I guess damage,
Yes,
right? For
I
CP.
do. I have Argent Shroud rerolls.
Right. I'm turning off rerolls on the Sagittarium. Where? Let me see. Hang on.
Yeah, so the Sagittarium are
Turning off rerolls on the
Obstac and
Contemptor.
2 models apiece, so they're currently holding
Do I get that
the
back?
objective at bay against the Battle Sisters.
Nope, I don't.
Ash needs to kill some of them to grab those defend the shrine points.
2 safes.
Mm-hmm.
Made 1.
8, so 7.
Yep. 7 feel no pains.
Mm-hmm.
Made 1. Take 6.
Sec.
Nope.
The Argent Shroud reroll.
Oh yeah. 4 pinball. Nope. Dead.
Take the 3.
I guess unless you roll 1.
I take the 3. He said.
Oh, you took the 3. Okay, sure.
Alright. Pop cherubs. And
A lot of work to kill 1 Sagittarium so far. Contemptor down to
fire
3.
everything at the Sec God.
Okay.
And we're just going to try to remove the
Hitting
Sanguinary
on
Guard.
4s, or do you not take a penalty for that as well?
No, ignore all cover.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good old Retributors.
Oh yeah, I don't have miracles, right? Okay. Means that I lose this game. You are in half range, so yeah.
The Sagittarium are transhuman,
So
yeah?
just kills. No. I turned off rerolls on the Achilles.
Okay. Are they winning on 2s then? Are they because they're casket dependents?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm winning on 2s. Okay, so
Was there 1 more?
yeah.
1 more.
Yeah.
Made it. So killed 1.
Yeah.
You've used your cherubs, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So we're 6v6 on the objective now.
Because I flubbed so hard that
So Ash not
I
grabbing the
can't
objective
do any-
back,
I can't
unfortunately.
do any primaries at this point. Yep. So, with the charges, you can declare all your heroics.
Oh, you're not. Yeah. Okay. So Trajan.
Well, I guess I have like 1 bolt gun into your killer, so I might as well shoot that.
Go ahead.
1 hit. No one, sorry.
Well, it's a 5 on primary, depending on how this fight phase goes, right, chat?
So yep. Alaris is gonna go 3 as well.
12 shots hitting on 4s, missed 10 times.
Yeah, unlucky. So I guess you can choose who you want to fight last. I guess.
Okay.
It'll be
Sure.
It'll be
so,
10 for
Captain.
If he
or go to 3
now
again.
it will, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Good
he has
stuff.
Trajan on the objective, so he has
6 attacks.
currently 8 models versus
2s,
6.
rerolling for Empress Chosen. Nope. And then wounding on 2s.
We'll see if that Canonist makes every single invulnerable save though again.
4 wounds on your Forpendal.
That
Wounds.
should burn.
Yep, and then you can fight next. Into Trajan, I guess.
Sure. Totally kill Trajan with fire attack.
A valiant effort,
Cool.
Canoness.
2 wounds.
Get him.
Forpendal, main of both. Okay, and then 6 attacks from Trajan to the Canonist.
Jay, throwing that Canoness a bone there,
Yep.
it's okay. I'll take it on my invulnerable save just to make you feel better. I won't take it on my 2+ armor save.
Alright.
And there goes the Canoness, yeah. So,
Okay,
MooMooCow confirming
and then I guess.
control of that objective, so denying.
If she lived, right?
It still would have denied the defend the shrine, I believe, because of the counter against double for holding objectives for Trajan.
Technically, this guy could go 4 this way, so yeah, I'm just gonna move him.
But that will still score MooMooCow his 10.
Cool, thank you. Come on, Faye.
It's
so
still
now I guess
it's
I
not
am
that
in
one-sided
our,
still. It's not looking good for Ash, but she's remaining ticking up those Raise the Manor's high points. Although I think MooMooCow potentially will begin to start
I can,
deploying teleport homers
I
just to
can
get those 2
swap
points
my
a turn.
damage out For
One damage, yeah.
from 2 damage, yeah, just reduce it to 1 and then do
Mhm.
1 additional attack. I think it's compulsory. Just
It's a
just get a bit
can.
of. It's a can, is it? Okay, so yeah, so I will keep Trajan in his 3 damage run because that's a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
6 going here. Do you have a CP to Overwatch? You do. Oh, we'll see. Going 9. Trajan's moving 6.
So Jet, just to answer a question in there, the Shield Captain is an unstoppable destroyer, so he pile in and consolidates an additional inch. So he goes 4 inches rather than 3, which is why MooMooCow moved him extra.
Going there, so I can see your Retributors.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, this was the worst map out of the 3 to face you on. Honestly, I was so mad when it hit.
Well, actually, I honestly was terrified of facing your list. Like, if you just YOLO'd them engines up.
Zombie, unfortunately,
so
Agent X, our Space Wolf in the top 16, has been knocked out so far. He had some very good games, but wasn't quite able to punch through the
I think that will be my
superlative
moving
skill being
phase, 'cause I really
exemplified in
don't have
Group
anything
1
else
here.
on the shooting phase. Achilles, you don't have any shoot me on death things, right, for the Retributors?
No.
Okay. So the Telemon is putting the main gun into that thing,
Mm-hmm.
into the blob of Retributors there, and it's putting the the Spiculus into your Crusaders. Is it worth it? Actually, no. Everything into your Retributors. And I will flame that anchor right there, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so the 6 shots from the main gun into the Retributors. On 2s, all hit, and then 2s to wound. Rerolling for Empress Chosen. 6 wounds.
Good.
Oof. Oof.
Yep.
Both times, Retributors roll like 1%, 1 success out of like 7.
And then the flamers into you. 2d3. That is 3 shots. Wounding on 3s. 1 wound.
Right.
You're good. The Achilles here is gonna put everything into the anchor right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I will do the 4 shots from the Adrathic first, hitting on 2s. And do I want to 3 damage versus I'll reroll that. Okay, I'll go and then 4s. Probably not the best choice, but yeah. It's 3 another 2. Yeah. Take 3.
Mm-hmm.
Then the 2 laser shots. Both hit. 3 wound. Am I within 6 inches of Trajan? Yes, I am. So reroll.
The Tempter is he's tired.
There we go.
He's like, I made a charge out of Deep Strike, and I've been in combat every single fight phase so far. I just want to take a break.
Okay. And then you're not on terrain. I can't see you. So Surge Arm shooting everything into your battle sisters. Just the bolters, I think. Actually. Yeah, I'm just down. Yeah, just the bolters.
Eat bolt gun!
Come on. Hitting on 2s.
Chat's been so invested in this game, I
and
think.
then wounding on 3s.
We've been
Reroll.
light on the soundboarding.
There we go.
AP1s or 3 ups? 2 down.
The soundboard Civil War
And then
has
the
had a
Vexil
ceasefire
Sprater
declared.
doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Rapid firing. Both hits. Both.
Good.
You're good. Trajan, shooting you.
Mm-hmm.
Stay strong, Battle Sisters. I think
Roll for himself.
you'll
Both
be
hits.
fine, right? This is fun.
Both wound. Good.
Something, faith in the Emperor
Alaris
protects,
putting
or
the
something.
ballistas into you. D3 shots. For 1. That's a hit.
We stand ready.
Not a wound. I will reroll that with Emperor
Biscuit,
Chosen.
but why
That's
did
a
you
wound.
bet on me in the Alpha semifinals? That game was
Does.
unwinnable. I told you not to bet on me. That's on
And
you,
then
buddy.
The rapid fire gun. Both hits. Both wound. One dies. Okay, that's the end of the shooting phase. Charges. Alaris into your Crusaders.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 7. I will just go like so, and then come behind.
Chad, Trajan rerolls because of his Warlord trait.
Trajan into your Crusaders.
You don't need to play this out. That's not 10 instead.
He gives himself full rerolls to hit, just generically.
And then these guys are just all gonna go into your.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll get 15, I think.
Definitely not getting this. You are probably not getting this.
No, yeah.
So
I will get 8 for behind enemy lines because I've got 4 this turn and 4 next turn.
Mhm.
And probably, I can't do teleport home next turn, so that's irrelevant.
Yeah.
All right, chat. Yeah, looks
Bring
like
it down,
we're just gonna
max
score
that.
out the remainder of the game. If anybody has any questions for the players, go ahead and throw them in there.
You're not ripping it off me.
We'll give them a
Run my sec. I'll just run my sec.
quick interview.
Right, yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Get us back.
So you get max on banners, would you? Oh no, you wouldn't get 1 in last turn,
Yeah.
I think. So
No,
14.
No, I wouldn't score for start of round 5 on it.
Oh right, yeah.
That sec guard was a 7-point swing.
Yeah.
And then another 10 points here. So
Was it? That last, I guess that last one.
because he let the Terminator captain walk off.
Yeah,
Which was a 10-point swing.
yeah, and that's fair enough.
So,
Yeah, when 4 ups are swingy.
this one guy was a Was 7. Well, got scored you 17 BP. Okay, not that one guy. This one guy. 17 BP.
Yeah, the red guy. Anyway, GG. Thanks for bearing with me. I am huddled in a blanket here, trying to ride out the fever. But
Yeah, thanks for the game. That was an
thanks,
absolute
guys.
roller coaster of a game to watch. I'm often sort of dismissive of Telemon Dreadnoughts, but I don't know, maybe never again. He styled so hard on Celestine, she just wanted to leave the game and stop playing, which was really wild.
no, I like I was just saying. I think he anchored me 5, but this guy that stood there and survived.
Yeah.
17, man.
He's getting a promotion to a shield captain in my next list, I guess.
Yeah. Question for you, Jay.
Yep.
Chaffee is asking, is there any changes that you would make to your list in the future?
Yeah. The irony is that I was thinking of dropping the Telemon.
He knew.
Yeah. Because, I mean, realistically, if I go up against the Balkan list, he's gone in turn 1.
Yeah.
I think. Maybe turn 2.
Yeah, that's a good call out, chat. Does the Shrine VP tick back down? Because the Custodes are holding it at the end, yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It does.
That's the thing.
But
Other changes? Probably.
That removes my perfect score. How could you? Turn 5, you move off it. Turn 5, you move off it. You let me score that 3 points.
The secret objective of 40k is to score exactly 69, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, I'm okay if you want 69. Like, it's just that magic number. But yeah, like I can go around like that. But I think, to be fair, yeah, I mean, to answer the question, Telemon's probably gonna get dropped for another squad of bikes. And maybe, just maybe, I would bring the redeploy on the captain rather than the 28-inch move. It just, in my 2-3 games so far, it's just made him like the paying the CP to get that relic to move him 28 inches out just forces him to be in the open, which isn't that valuable, I think. But anyway.
Yeah, does it make your secondary objective picks harder?
Yeah, it does, but I guess with 3 bikes, you'd probably go for something like grind. You'd still go for behind enemy lines, and then you just deploy teleport homers. I think maybe go for banners, depending on the mission. But yeah,
Sure. That makes sense.
yeah.
Did you
I mean,
enjoy
but
your bike
teleport
captain
homers was a. Sorry?
Did you enjoy how your bike captain?
No,
Yeah.
absolutely not. But in some sense, I don't know. I don't know. And Ash, I think this is a question for you from me. Like, knowing that I chose teleport homers and knowing that he was my action monkey, were you more incentivized to go for him?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, but the other thing was he was in the way, so I would have cooked him doing that regardless. It's just
Yeah.
I probably and I still would have spent the 2 VP. If you had done something else with him, I would probably have had to consider. But you know, the way you positioned him was basically, hey, look, I need to access this blob and kill it. I guess this guy is in the way. I guess I need to kill him. Oh, he's your action monkey. I suppose that's just a big plus.
So, the idea behind that was I'd have redundancy. Like, at least if you shot and really focused on him, I still have a couple of bikes left.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if that was going to work as well as I thought, but yeah. It was meant to kind of force your target priority to split a bit, but yeah.
There was a question, Kidakuru asking question for everybody. Where in the faction tier list would you place Custodes right now?
Pre or post FAQ?
I guess post FAQ, because that is
Upper end
like,
of A.
tomorrow. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'd probably say A.
So I would put Yukari in S. Tau, I am not sure. I'm guessing Tau is going to be an A plus, as in the best of A. Maybe S tier, depending on whether or not that. Because we don't know how to play into Tick City, right?
Right.
Then directly under that would probably be Custodes.
You think?
Tyranids aren't in there? Crusher Stampede getting
I guess
crushed and stampeded directly out of the meta.
They tie with Crusher Stampede because the thing is that Custodes probably have a good match into Tau, but have a terrible match into Crusher Stampede. Crusher Stampede has a great match into Custodes, but a terrible match into Tau and Tau. You follow the rock paper scissors here.
Yeah, we end up in just the swings and roundabouts of the metagame.
Yeah, so
I don't know. Ox. I feel like Ox are up there.
but Ox got a bit of a
Yeah, they're getting
Right,
hammered
Right? Yeah. Post FAQ. Yeah.
by FAQs.
The post FAQ.
so yeah. You carry at the top, then the trifecta, and then I don't know who sits underneath that, and then sisters are like bottom of A.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still think that Tau are gonna force your Custodes list to shift to larger units though, because assuming the Bokan thing works out as I think it will, you're gonna be losing like a 3-back unit is just gonna go like non-stop.
Yeah.
Right, every turn. So you incentivized to bring something larger and then or bring more bodies like on the ground in terms of infantry and whatnot. And yeah, so this list definitely will change, I think. Recognizing what Tao's gonna do, but yeah. I don't know if a foot of like pure foot list or mass foot list a golden horde type thing works as well in like it works as well in an A tier. But yeah, that's my view.
Yeah. A question from JX Call. MooMooCow, how do you feel about including the Sisters of Silence in your list?
As in including more? I mean,
I guess.
One squad.
How do you feel about that they have performed so far?
They're good, cheap objective holders, which in this matchup really helped me, right? Because they soaked up the charge from Celestine.
Mhm.
Aside from that, don't expect much more from them. I think some people might just be a bit too concerned over the psychic stuff, because Grey Knights are just going to overpower you, so 1,000 Suns. So
right. Yeah, that's not really what they're there for, right? They're there because there's 60 points in hip upsack.
yeah. Maybe reserve them if you want, and then bring them on for engage on all fronts or something, depending on your list. They're good cheap, like Corner Monkey as well, but. Yeah, and at five models, they're pretty good for stuff like Rod. So in the new format, I guess. But yeah,
if you bring 3 units and a Collectus, and you soup in some sisters for the Null Rod, and you grab some Faithful so that -2 to cast Relic or whatever it is, we've got a thing going here.
yeah. A meme anti-cycle list, and then you run into Sisters of Battle, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Or Tau.
Or Tau.
Yeah.
Or Necrons, I guess. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that won't.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all the questions from chat. But thank you two for the game, Jay. Congratulations on taking it down.
Thank you very much.
And I think we're going to be in for a very exciting ending to Group 1, which is tomorrow in about 20 hours.
Is it?
21 or 20 hours. That's what I have.
Is it at night? I thought we were playing during the day. Hold on, let me check with Coco. He said you had a slightly wrong timing. Yeah, so it would be in about 30 hours. Yeah, 30 hours. I think
Okay.
you got your AM and PM mixed up, probably.
All right. Yeah, just send me the updated time.
He
I can
said
put it in there.
he did. But I'll send it to you.
Okay. Cool.
Anyway, thanks for the game, Ash. Sorry I had to skip out for a couple of moments there.
No problem. Children will be children. COVID is COVID.
Yeah, COVID will be COVID, more accurately.
Oh, I'm going to
Okay.
night.
Yeah, take
Yeah.
care. Good night, everyone. Have a good day, everyone.
Have a good sleep, you too.
Have a good day,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.
See
Cheers.
you. Bye.
All right. Woof. What a game, chat. So many exciting moments in that one. That was a good one. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in and watching. We had a ton of people watching the stream. So I appreciate everyone who decided to hop on and take a look.
Yeah!
A lot of good questions. And for everyone else, obviously, big shout outs to the Discord, !Discord and chat if you're not in there. If you are interested in joining the T5S2 series, that's the best place to do it because we run a ton of events over there and we will have some new events being scheduled for over the next couple of weeks, which will be good. And big shout out to our sponsors, GameNet.eu, 3D6 Wargaming. I don't know when the streams over this weekend might be. I know Ash, at the very least, is probably going to be streaming her group finals games if it's not on this channel. So it will be on her channel, which is linked on tts40k.com/invitational. Otherwise, we do have some additional games scheduled. In next Wednesday. We're going to have some exciting final games in Group 2. I think we do have a couple other games that have been scheduled. We're still waiting on some games from Group 3, our Drukari group, that I don't know have been scheduled yet, so stay tuned for those. The group stage officially ends at the end of this coming week, and then we're going to have a bit of a break. I will be streaming, or I'll preface this. It will be on the stream schedule. There is a non-zero chance that we sort of fail technologically, but that remains to be seen. I should be streaming next weekend the Captain Con GT, so that'll be live coverage of an in-person tournament. Schlep all my cameras and everything over there, and it'll be a good time. So check that out. That'll be at the very least streamed on the Twitch. And obviously, we will continue with coverage of the Invitational next week. And then on the 12th through 13th, the Invitational elimination stage, the semifinals and grand finals, which I'm very excited about. Hope everyone else is psyched for that. Go ahead and close it out here, folks. Thanks, everyone, for watching. And I'll see you next time.